Here's 50 pounds. This piece of paper is worthless. It's a piece of paper.
Why Robert Kiyosaki hates Grant Cardone. A little bit of healthy brawl is expected once in a while. Meanwhile, we've watched the back and forth between these investment gurus Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki closely. In this video, we'll reveal why Robert hates Grant Cardone. So this will be an exciting video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It's obvious the duo of Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki have some bad blood against each other. It's actually not surprising. Isn't that what competitors do? They both have a huge influence in the real estate business, even though Grant Cardone seems more of a big talker, an all about the shining stuff kind of guy, while Robert Kiyosaki is the more traditional and thorough. So I wouldn't expect that their ways align. They have quite different personalities. Somehow, Grant gives Robert a new reason to detest him more when he unwittingly affirms Robert's speculation about his source of wealth, business style, and how he treats investors. Grant was invited to Robert's Rich Dad Poor Dad show, which also had the attendance of Robert's wife, Kim. From the beginning of the interview, you can tell these two are struggling to keep it cool. You could almost hold the tension in a fist. Apparently, the reason for having Grant on the show was to share his 2 cents about investing, how he started, what budding investors are expected to do to get it right, and whatnot. You will not believe what happened next, so keep watching. Grant turned things around and stylishly started pitching his business. The question was how Grant started and his advice to budding entrepreneurs. The answer to that could have been a step-by-step analysis of how to go about investing. But I guess Grant assumes the show to be one of his YouTube videos, where he goes about rubbing his wealth on people's faces. Grant talks about his $100 million deal, riding the wave of his success in the real estate market and not forgetting to list out his high-end competitors. What can be deduced from this is that Grant is insinuating that he is a big gamer, which is why he rolls with big investment companies. He was conveniently putting up advice that would ruin budding entrepreneurs he is supposed to address. However, Robert seems to get the hang of Grant's subtle message, or should I say, insult. Then Robert also decides to school Grant on how to manage real estate, which is just the beginning to an end. This is not the whole story. It's even gonna get crazier. Keep watching. Replying to Grant's subtle jab, Robert said it is not about sourcing for the money or the money itself. In fact, sourcing for the money is the easy part. The difficult part is managing the property. Also stating that he wouldn't recommend that anyone go for a deal without having the required legal knowledge. Robert didn't stop there. However, quoting him verbatim, he says, "Your message is probably different from ours, but to me, the management of the property and making it turn a profit is the hard part today." Again, Grant butts in, disagreeing with Robert's opinion, well, not without some bragging. He says he has been able to raise $700 million, but it's not as easy as Robert made it sound since he still has to manage people's phone calls. What I don't understand is that he conveniently raised $700 million, but he is here complaining about monitoring phone calls. That is just a pointer that he is trying so hard to rub it all on Robert's face. As an audience, what am I supposed to do with this breaking news? $700 million is a lot for a budding entrepreneur. He could have stuck to the question and not deviated from all the unnecessary bragging. I think the point is crystal clear. Robert dishes advice on building from the bottom up and taking baby steps, while Grant is for the bigger fishes, million-dollar deals or nothing, not considering that you need experience in the real estate business to get these deals. An example to show Grant doesn't appreciate baby steps is when he says, "These big guys that we are competing with today, if you can't move fast, you will not get the asset." However, it seems Robert is trying to get Grant back on track. He calls him back from his high heavens when he reminds Grant that not too many people will do what Grant does, and all he needs from him is to tell the audience how to get started. Then he goes further to demand Grant should respect his audience. Woo! As if that wasn't enough, Robert cuts Grant as he tries to talk and then asks for Kim's opinion. Well, I wouldn't blame Robert for asking Grant to respect his audience. I mean, talking about those high-end deals to people that don't have as much as you is disrespectful. Why can't you just stay within their range? Literally, all he's saying won't be helpful to them. Not to write them off, but that is the truth. So I will say Robert's sentiments are valid. We're talking about the fan base he built for years. It's only normal to be protective of them. Replying to Robert, Grant says, "I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm telling your audience they're better off partnering with somebody on a big deal than going on one unit by themselves." Grant has got the nerve, no doubt, so you go on someone's show to teach them how to live. That's literally what that means. Grant is aware of Robert's opinion regarding starting up, go easy sort of thing. So Grant indirectly tells Robert's audience that Robert has been messing up their investment knowledge and they should follow his way. For a better understanding, that is what he meant. Now, to finally nail Grant's coffin, Robert asks Grant how he started, if he started off with big deals or from the bottom up. Grant then goes on to say he started with one unit property. That is not the end. Robert asks if he will recommend that anyone start from one unit, to which he says no. What I don't understand is why he doesn't want people to work all the way up. You can tell he's only concerned about getting budding entrepreneurs to partner with him and then rip them off. Actually, I think there's no love lost between these two. They just don't seem to like each other and they don't hide it. At the tail end of the video, Robert says it's either you want to be good at real estate or give your money to somebody like Grant Cardone. That right there says it all. The long and short of all the back and forth is they are not on each other's list of favorite people. Plus, their conviction is significantly different. And it doesn't seem like Robert is ready to accept Grant's point of view, which means we should expect a lot of bickering from these two. So, I'll advise that if you're going into the buoyant real estate industry, do your due diligence. Know how to filter what you hear and stick with a professional that is not all about ripping you off. That'll be all. Don't forget to like this video and punch on the subscribe button.